As within, so without. What's happening inside of us is going to attract what's happening around us. Many people begin to get this. So we have two jobs. One is one of the most difficult jobs in the world. We're spirit guides. We're spirit guides for people who can't hear their spirit guides yet. We're spiritual healers for those who get trapped in the tangles of awakening. Be in your heart. Once you weren't. Once upon a time, you were not in your body. It's you. It's you who were not in your body. And now you are. Upon death, they can measure on average 21 grams of weight disappear. One of my childhood friends is an anesthesiologist, and he told me this in awe. Because at the edge of their scientific reasoning, we circle around to this remembrance. But this remembrance is daunting. It comes with a whole range of other challenges. So on one level, many of us wake up and we start to reach and want to remember. And on another, we're more subconsciously aware, ooh, that opens up a lot. The world is littered with strange, strong, beautiful, wise souls in mental hospitals because they get lost in this process. And they get lost in a way I relate to, I care about, and many of you may. And one day, hopefully soon, many people will understand that we're called to be something that is absent in the modernized, globalist, industrial, artificial world. People in this globalized, industrial, artificial world often grow up with an inspiration. What are you going to be? What are you going to be? And when we ask this question of children, it largely means, oh, I will be a fireman, or I will be a banker, I will be a teacher. And lost in this is the challenge that we rarely understand. We are learning to aspire to be something in relation to other people. And we're presented with this range of options as if it's complete. And then some of us began to wake up and the walls break and messages get in this way and that way, and the coherence doesn't make sense, and the floor begins to shift. And there's no doctor or teacher or fireman who knows how to make sense of it. So we have two jobs. One is one of the most difficult jobs in the world. We're spirit guides. We're spirit guides for people who can't hear their spirit guides yet. We're spiritual healers for those who get trapped in the tangles of awakening. We're spiritual teachers for those who need the basics of what it is to be a spiritual being living in a human body. And then we have another job, and that is contending with a globalized, industrial, artificial society that doesn't believe in us and actively, subconsciously resents this emergence, because this emergence is challenging everything for so many people. And this emergence is putting us in a position where we need to be able to help people who also have to fight off the struggle that they're going insane. That struggle shouldn't be part of our challenge. In the world 20 years from now, there will be enough momentum that people will not have to struggle with that nearly as much because they will grow up with an awareness that someone is this new age guide, spiritual teacher. That's one of the things on your list. It's like a fireman or a banker or a spirit teacher. They grow up with an awareness. Oh, yeah, when you have those kind of challenges, you go there to that person. So we need to carve out that space, and we need to take care of people, including and beginning with each other. Oh, and it's the end of the world as we know it. These things are related. So we're going to add one of the most fundamental lessons. It will be a lesson you may carry for decades. It will be at the heart of how you can help people maybe tomorrow. As within, so without. What's happening inside of us is going to attract what's happening around us. Many people begin to get this. It's woven through the ancient Hermetic texts and many other spiritual texts. It's the genesis of the art of attraction, the laws of magnetism and repulsion of our energy field, and so much else is unlocked with this awareness. Yet the world is finite. The world, we're in a sphere. It doesn't go on endlessly. She's created boundaries that we exist within. So at certain limits, the impact of our magnetism is bouncing against these boundaries, bouncing boundaries, and creating echoes, interesting interplays of reactions and confusion. Now, some people begin to learn this lesson and they're like, we are all one. There is no fear. The inner is the outer. And what they're doing is they're dissolving the old ways of thinking so they can be present. You are another me. You're just another me. There's an impact to these statements. They put you in a position where you can dissolve the old ways of thinking, but they're not particularly accurate on a certain other level. They create another potential confusion that we can step around. We strive to work out as much as we can within ourselves. It's not exciting. It's not earth-shattering enlightenment all in a moment. It's just a commitment, a value. We're going to work out as much as we can within ourselves. Then we're going to encounter challenges in the world, and we're going to do our best to say, yep, this challenge probably has something to do with my karma. This is the interplay. We're internalizing, we're drawing our mind to stop framing confusion, negativity, anything we don't like, anything we're avoiding. We're going to stop externalizing it. We're going to stop blaming some category of people for our problems. We're going to stop blaming our ex for our problems. We're going to stop blaming our mother for our problems. And we're going to say, well, all of those people are real. They all embody energies I don't like, but it's my karma that put me here. I'm going to do the work to pull this back in and fight within myself and do some pull-ups. Stay in a forward bend for 20 minutes. Do intense, crazy present work to bring it internal into yourself. And a lot of people aren't even close to doing this, which is why it's the end of the world as we know it. Because they are externalizing their pain and their fear. And externalized pain and fear has always, and get this part, has always led to war. That's what war is. You got a family, the family's mean, the parents hit the kids, they break things, it's bad. They never resolve their problems, they don't ask for external help, they're ashamed of themselves, so they scream even more if someone tries to tell them about it. It's a toxic pit. They never reflect, they don't make up, they don't try to change together. But fuck those other people who look different than me. And as soon as they say, fuck those other people who look different than me, they all have something in common. Isms, phobias, Unify sick people who are externalizing their karma. Unify sick people who aren't paying attention to what's wrong right close to them. So when you cast this hatred at somebody far away, someone who's different, someone who's trans, someone who challenges your boundaries, you get this little temporary bond with the people who you hate, who are your family. That is all too common for too many people. So when these patterns go on and on and on and on, every time little Joey and his dad fight, and then the mom gets hurt trying to protect the boy, or every time the sister and the brother, throw hot oil at each other, they get to avoid how awful their lives are and say, fuck those other people who look different than me. But it doesn't work because they're generating the negativity within themselves. They're generating it and throwing it somewhere else. So eventually, they either have to confront the fact that they're full of shit, quite literally full of spiritual shit. They have to confront it, or they triple down and start a war with those people to try to force those other people to swallow their shit. And that's what we're living through again. And it's always been this way. The English and the French had a war that lasted 100 years. Did you know about that one? 100 years. This is all they were doing. Fuck those French people. Fuck those English people. They thought they were fighting over external things, but the real root was a lot of people who didn't digest their own shit. We live in a world where the boundaries have been set by people we don't know and don't understand, and it's hard to see why things are the way they are, much less question them. It is illegal in 47 states in the United States to build earth ships. Earth ships are made of tires and cans. They catch the rainwater and cycle it 4 times. The water comes in, they shower and drink from it. That water is filtered through a feeder system that feeds indoor houseplants in greenhouses that grow food. That water is refiltered to flush the toilets, and that is flushed outside where the sewage becomes new soil for gardens around the house. These houses are illegal to make in 47 states of the United States. They don't need heating systems. They stay on average 70 degrees from 110 Fahrenheit to negative 20 Fahrenheit because they heat with the perfect balance of light hitting stone, empowering the tires filled with dirt to act like a battery to keep the house warm. These two things are not an accident. As within, so without. This is a direct metaphor for what we are supposed to do with our energy. We are not supposed to try to fling our negative energy at anyone else. Our negative energy is useful, but we have to filter it, process it, and turn it into new soil. And people don't know how to do that. So they stare at their negative energy like a toxic shadow, and they do their best to get it as far away from themselves as they can, as quickly as they can. But there are skills to how to process this energy, and you actually don't want to get rid of this energy. We all need it. It's good energy. It's useful. It's crucial to grow a garden that feeds ourselves. This is our job. And it will be mirrored by a transformation of society where these incredibly toxic boundaries that keep a toxic heating, cooling, building system alive. All sorts of people are making money on the world as it is, and they lack imagination at best. They lack the imagination to change into a form where they would make a lot more money if they just learned to build earth ships. But they're too lazy and small-minded, greedy to do that. It's the same direct parallel with our energy. Racism isn't just bad. You're getting rid of 30% of your own energy. You need it. You could grow food with that energy. You could build dreams that are utterly impossible unless you claim all your energy. You need your energy. It's not just immoral to hate other people. It's not just immoral to strike out in violence. It's like cutting off your own arm. It's time. These lessons are needed. Hundreds of thousands of people are waking up to them. They're hearing the message through the whispers in their mind, and they don't even hear them as whispers. They feel it. And once we make conscious contact and connection, once we build intentional community with each other and grow and share and change and learn, we could start to teach the world that a spiritual teacher, guide, and healer is just as crucial as all these other roles and just as normal.